Hello, my name is Pullein, and in this week's episode of Productivity Mastery, I want to explain to you why we have a natural tendency to overcomplicate things, which starts causing huge problems into our productivity system. Now, the best productivity system that you can create for yourself is as simple as it possibly can be. This is one of the reasons why I advocate the C.O.D system: collect, organize, and do, because at its very core, it's very simple. You collect things, you organize those things, and you do those things. Very, very simple. The problem comes in the way that we are organizing our stuff. Now, one of the things I've been recently getting into is Marie Kondo's joyful tidying up system. And I've read the book now, and I've watched a couple of episodes on Netflix of the documentary related to this, and I've read a lot of articles around the whole subject. And I've become fascinated with, we do tend to overcomplicate things. And the biggest thing for me is things do generally have a natural place to be. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I showed people how to set up a morning ritual in Todoist. And that, again, at its very core, that is really quite simple. We use a label and we organize it into AM and PM. We don't need any more complexity than that. Essentially, what we want to do is in the morning, I want to be able to see the things that are on my ritual list. I want to check them off as I do them, and then I want to forget about it until the next day. I want it to recur. Now, that's the sum total of complexity that I have, essentially just adding the label, or if you're a GTDer, the context. But the problem comes when we have big projects that we have to work with. What I often find people doing is organizing in a very complex hierarchical structure. Now, whenever I have a very big project to do, I just organize it into beginning, middle, and end. That way I know exactly where I am in terms of the project timeline. I'm in the middle, or I'm at the beginning, or I'm coming towards the end. And I organize my tasks like that. Now, I only ever do that with projects that would have more than 15 tasks. I found that on my desktop computer, 15 tasks is the maximum I can see in a comfortable sized window. That's why anything over 15, I tend to organize into beginning, middle, and end. I don't organize it any more complexly than that. That is the maximum complexity I'm ever going to allow in a project. And one of the other problems that I see people having, and I mentioned this last week, which is applications that have way too many features. Yes, sure, it's nice to play around with the color. Sure, it's nice to change the background colors. All sorts of things that we can do. But the problem there is that we're just adding complexity. We're playing around with things that are not actually getting the work done. And what you need is essentially a productivity system that is very, very boring. When it's boring, it's just going to tell you what you need to do, and you want to get out of there as fast as you possibly can so that you start doing the work. Now, to be honest, I'll be perfectly honest with you here and open about this. I chose Todoist as my to-do list manager because it's simple, but also it's very beautiful. Evernote for me is simple because I keep it simple, but I would be hard pushed to say that it was beautiful. But it does the job that it's meant to do. And I spend probably most of my day with Evernote open because it's where I've got all my notes, my reference materials, and my quick reference ideas so that I can grab links or whatever from there. Apple Notes is actually a lot more beautiful, but I find that Apple Notes has a little bit too much complexity, and I haven't learned all the keyboard shortcuts, which is my fault. But the key part here is the applications you should be using should be simple. The way you structure everything needs to be as simple as you possibly can make it. Ideally, a project should just have very clearly defined tasks. Really basic ones is buy dog food, not dog food, buy dog food. You need that action verb. And it just needs to be a simple list of all the things that need to be done within the project. When you start overcomplicating things, that's when A, you're going to spend too much time in your productivity tools, which means you're not being productive. And two, things are definitely going to get missed. Simplicity means things are not going to get missed because you can see them. Now, the second part to all this is why you need to be doing a full weekly review. So many people skip the weekly review thinking they don't need to do it. But if you do a full weekly review, you can look at your calendar to see how busy the following week is going to be. You can schedule your tasks that need doing around your schedule, and then you can actually enjoy getting the work done because you know exactly what needs doing. It's as simple as that. All you need then is 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the day to organize the stuff that you've collected, to just check that you've got the right things, because weeks do change from time to time. I mean, you know, we live in a very flexible world. I mean, you get new demands and new appointments are coming in during the week. So you may have to adjust what you organize in your weekly review, but that should only take you 10 to 15 minutes at the end of every single day. But when you start adding that complexity and massive hierarchical structures within your projects, you are now spending a lot of time in there. Things are going to get misplaced. You're not going to lose. Just leave that alone. Keep things as simple. Projects that have 15 or less tasks don't need hierarchical structures. Just have 15 tasks in your to-do list. You can reorganize things by just dragging and dropping in pretty much most to-do list managers. Your notes structure in your notes application doesn't need lots and lots of hierarchical structures there either. You just need a simple inbox to collect your ideas, a home folder or notebook, and a work folder or notebook. And inside there you can keep project notes just by naming it by the project name. Then when you go in and search for your notes, it's really easy to find, and you're not trying to have to remember, oh, how did I organize it? What did I name that? What did I tag that? You know, that's what happens when you start overcomplicating things. Over the last year, I've been using a simple alphanumeric tagging system in Evernote, for example. I've not had a single problem trying to find a note. It's so easy. Invoice, I just type invoice and it will come up in date order. Fantastic. I can see what I'm looking for. Receipts, I can find all my receipts. Nothing is impossible to find because I've kept my notes structure simple. So what I'd like you to do this week is have a look at your whole productivity system and have a look to see where you may have added just that little bit too much complication. Have a look at the third-party apps that you're using to support your productivity apps. Some of those you might find are unnecessary and are just adding complication that you don't need. Get rid of them. Go through a purge. Go through and have a look. Another one, by the way, where I see people have overcomplicated things is their cloud storage. And I'm guilty of this one. I've got Dropbox, iCloud, and sometimes I use Google Drive. Now, the problem I've had with this is, what am I using these for? So I've actually stopped using Dropbox. I've moved everything over to iCloud simply because I'm completely in the Apple ecosystem. I have a Mac laptop, I have iOS devices. I don't need Dropbox anymore. Also, I've had a look at the way I use Google Drive. Google Drive is what I use for collaboration. It's fast, it's simple, and I'm not collaborating that much stuff with people, so I find Google Drive is perfect for collaboration. But that's me just simplifying things, when you're pruning things. So when I think, okay, I've got a document to share, Google Docs, Google Drive. I'm working on my own stuff, I use iCloud because it just syncs perfectly with all my devices. Look for the simplest possible solution to your needs in terms of your work and your personal life. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget, keep things as simple as you possibly can, and you'll find that your productivity will skyrocket. Just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. Now, if you want to take your productivity to a higher level, then get yourself enrolled in my 2019 edition of Your Digital Life 2.0 online. It is a complete, comprehensive productivity and time management course, and it's a course that will take you to levels of productivity you have only ever dreamt of before. It shows you how to build your very own C.O.D system, collect, organize and do. It shows you how to create the folder structure, how to build into your goals, into your daily to-do list. It has everything. And not only that, you will get a free copy of Your Digital Life 2.0, the book. You also get a free workbook and you get access to all the slides that are used in the course. It is incredible value. I want to see you in that course. If you are serious about becoming productivity, then please join me in Your Digital Life 2.0, the 2019 edition. Thank you very much for watching this video.